everyone to another episode of No Chaser Live Talk Podcast. I am your host, Remy Rowe, and we're sitting here in the room tonight with one of my favorite DJs. Goes by the name of none other than DJ Spaceship. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, man?
Man, it's good to have you here.
It's about time. I feel like I made it, man. Mama, I made it. I'm on the podcast with my brother. I'm with that man.
Man, we finally got this one in motion. Like, it seemed like everything that could happen did happen to prevent this one from going down.
Right.
We had I had the family emergency. I had to go to North Carolina.
Remember that?
For like 3 weeks. So we had to cancel. Got back. Soon as we get back and we get back on the calendar, then we get Hurricane Helen last week.
Yeah.
Then we had to push it. But we here now.
We made it happen.
We here now,
and
man.
And it's supposed to happen tomorrow, but there's another situation that's coming up too.
Exactly. You speak on it.
There's another situation coming up. Bucks and Falcons. I be the Falcon. You be the Buck.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, but it's all about timing. I feel like now's the time.
Everything is about timing, man.
Yeah.
Godspeed. It's good to have you here, man. We're gonna have a real good show tonight. For those that's tuned in, I just want to let y'all know that Spaceship is not just somebody I know. He's a dear friend. You know, we know each other personally. He know my family, my kids, and the same for me. So this interview is like, you know, it's real genuine and authentic. And we just finna get into it, man, and dive in. And he gonna tell y'all a little bit about himself and what he got going on. And so let's go ahead and talk to the people, man. Damn, where can I start? I know where to start.
Okay.
So
what you got?
As a DJ. And I don't want this to be so cliche. It's like, when did you start and all that? But just kind of tell the people, like, how long you been doing this, man? Because you really got a resume. You know what I'm saying? So, like, how long have you really been at this?
So, let's see. I'm 105 years old now. I've been DJing for 14 years now.
Okay.
14, roughly 13, 14 years now.
Okay.
A buddy of mine, I was working at a call center for a cell phone company called Altair Wireless at the time, and he was a DJ. And I was like, okay, cool, because I grew up, born and raised in Tampa.
Right.
Grew up in Central Park, West Tampa and Central Park, and back then they used to have the block parties in the summer. And Underwood Records.
Man, Underwood, yes, sir.
They used to come in, my step pops, he used to let them use our power to power up everything they got going on. And I used to watch all the, people come from the west, the east, the south side.
From all over town.
All over town, because that was the spot to be at other than Riverfront.
Absolutely.
And everybody they had their cliques and crews, beefs and all that. Girls had their bongos, guys had their polos and duck heads.
Remember that?
Yeah, kids. And,
right.
And people, in fights and everything would jump off. But the one person everybody always respected was the DJ.
Always.
From all sides. He made you smile, made you reminisce,
right?
All that good stuff, man. He kept the tunes and stuff like that. So when people grew up in school, they would say, like, what you want to be? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I said I wanted to be a DJ because it's a superpower that you can't describe.
Right.
It's also a sport that a young man or old man can play and still, stay on top of your game, get your own style, and you still can do your thing with it.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, and then, upon meeting Mel, his name is DJ Not One, and Doc. They're from Jersey, and they took me under their wings, and as they say, history has it, I am where I am, partially where I am, well, a good portion of it today because of those two brothers right there by way of New Jersey.
Man, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So they saw something in you, and apparently you had to see something in them to be inspired by them brothers, and they took you under their wing, and the rest is history. Now we got 14 years behind you in this craft.
Yeah.
And might I add, you're not just a DJ, bro. You really damn good at your craft. Like,
I appreciate that, man.
I never forget the first time I seen you spin, and I think it was at B Slim. She had like a Christmas or a New Year. I think it was a New Year's party. And man, you was like, I'm standing over in the cut, I'm trying to be cool and, flying shit. And I'm back in the cut, but I'm vibing. I'm feeling the music.
Right.
And your blends, you going. I'm like, man, he killing it.
With one turntable back then.
Yeah, you
one
was
technique.
Killing it. And I'm
was
like,
one technique.
I was like, okay. And then from there, it seemed like after I met you that day, I started hearing and seeing. You know how it's just like when you see a car commercial,
right?
And after you see the commercial,
you start seeing the car
everywhere.
Yeah,
it was like after I met you that day, I started seeing your name and started seeing you pop up everywhere, and you was DJing at all these different events, and I'm like, damn, man, and that was like, that was awesome, man. That was the whole beginning of how our whole relationship just kind of kicked off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was during the time me and Tone Kapone. I was a part of a group called Powerline.
Okay.
And it was
shout out to Tone, man.
Yeah, shout out to Tone. I see it was me, Tone, No Alias, DeBron Kane, Blue JD, Cherie, and Dora. So it was one singer, one DJ, everybody else was rappers.
Right.
And the only person out of the group, none of them had ever heard of me or knew or seen what I can do other than Tone. Because Tone and he used to come to the house parties that I used to do. We had a mutual friend, and I would play her house parties from 7 p.m. to like 8 in the morning, 7, 8 in the morning. And he kept telling me about this group that he was getting together with. And for 2 years, he told me that. 2 years.
2 years.
2 years. And when that day actually came, he sent me the message, and he asked me, he said, did you check the message out? I lied. I said, yeah, I looked at the message. And he was like, I know you didn't read the message. This day, this time, this is where I need you to be. And that's when I met up with everybody else. And Powerline was actually supposed to be almost about 10, 12 people.
Wow.
And the people that didn't end up being a part of Powerline, they just didn't believe in it. They didn't see the vision. But Tone, when Tone put something in his head, like most people, when you believe in something, you stick to it.
Yes.
And that first event, like I found out, I thought all DJs rock out wherever they go and they DJ, and I found out that not DJs at artist showcases or artist events, they just play music for the background. I want to see you dance. Like
right.
The rappers and everybody going to get their turn to shine, so I wanted my time to shine too. And and that's what Tone was like, just give them what you can. And I don't just play just one genre of music, like I'm an open format DJ. So I can play, as I tell people, from Aerosmith to Zapp and everything in between.
Everything in between. And that was what I saw. You know, that night when I saw you, you went from Michael Jackson to like the variety of records you was playing. It wasn't like some cliche-ass DJ that, you know, he's just gonna put the same songs that you normally hear at a party. And it was like, whoa, okay, he digging in the crates, he playing some shit, like, you know what I'm saying? So that was hats off, and you won my respect right then off the rip.
I appreciate that.
Spaceship, how you feel about like the new technology and how it impacts your craft? Do you like it, or are you opposed to it?
Oh, that's a multi-part question. I like it. But I also think that as an artist of any craft, we'll just speak on the craft of DJing, you need to learn how to do it the old way in the event that the new way fails you. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you have like the sync button, you have the pitch control, you have so many new tools that help you. Anybody now can necessarily just buy a controller and call themselves a DJ. DJing not hard, but it's not easy either. And good DJs are not cheap. And cheap DJs are not good.
Say that again.
Good DJs are not cheap, and cheap DJs are not good.
Amen. That's a fact.
With the new technology and stuff, you know, if you know what you're doing, if you can handle the old school, the techniques, you know, like shout out to Eminem, Rocket Rod, and them the cats I grew up seeing in my city doing it. Chisholm, them the cats I grew up seeing do their thing. I mean, we got the Kid Capri's and the Funk Master, but that's New York. This is Tampa. This is where I'm from, and these are the guys.
And the guys you just named from Tampa, they set the tone in this staple in this community.
They definitely did.
They are our Capris. They
Floyd
are
Joy.
Those guys are legendary in our region. So, and they still active. Like you know, I was just at a party. At Flyboy party, matter of fact, last week we and Chisholm was DJing it, man. Chisholm, man, it's so good to be in the building with him because he make you feel so good. He pulled out records I had to forgot all about that I did. He must have played about 4 or 5 records of ours, man, and it was just, you know, he tapped me in the ear. He was like, boy, this was a hit. I want you to push that one a little harder.
Yeah.
Like, but it's always good, man, to have that kind of relationship with the DJs, especially the ones that's, you know, a real powerful impact in our community and our culture, man. So big salute to that, man. You mentioned Tone Kapone earlier, good brother. I remember you guys had Waves of the Bay. which was y'all podcast.
Yep.
And it did really well. Like, Tone actually still doing Waves.
He still does it.
I just did an interview with him maybe about a year ago, around the time when I dropped No Setbacks 2.0.
I remember.
And but to see, you know, where you started with that and then you transitioned to being a radio personality on WMNF 88.5, kind of talk to people through that and how that came about. Like, how did you get positioned to be in those shoes?
So once again, shout out to my brother Tone. As a DJ, the heavy nights, the Monday nights is Fridays, Saturdays. And Waves of the Bay is a show that goes on every Saturday from 10 p.m. to midnight on 88.5. And it would be times that, you know, like how the show would go, Tone controlled the boards, I just DJ'd and act the food.
Right.
And then there'll be those times in between that Tone would be like, hey, I'm going out of town with the family, something like that. You handle the biz. And so I was like, okay. The first time I just DJ'd the whole 2 hours. Then I got curious and I was like, dang, he looked like he be enjoying himself sitting behind that board, all the lights and everything. He posting his pictures and all that. I'm like, I want to do that too.
Right.
And I love gadgets and stuff. So one time when Tone was out of town, I think he went to New York with the family. He went to New York and I said, let me sit down and see what's happening. And I sat down behind the boards and I started messing with the gadgets. I just said, if I could just focus on what I'm going to use. I didn't bring nobody in the interview because I didn't want to mess up.
Right.
I wanted to get the steps down first. And I did. And I was like, okay, this is cool. So it still was a struggle for me at times when I would get propositioned with a gig to do, like a wedding or a birthday party. I still feel like torn because I committed to doing this Saturday show with Tone.
Right.
And I don't want to leave my brother hanging where he got to do it all by himself. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't want him to feel away. And he didn't.
Right.
Tone would tell me whenever the thing about he understood it.
Right.
The thing about with me and Tone is a lot of people don't understand. Me and Tone, it was kind of like Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. Them two guys can talk to each other without talking to each other, like without using words.
Pretty much.
Just hand signals and looking at each other, head nods. We already know what time it is.
We're on the same page.
We on the same page. And so then I took a position at WMNF as an operation assistant. I've been there the past 3 years now. I took that position, and the reason I took that position was I wanted to learn more about how to use the board, the Wheatstone.
Okay.
And WMNF is the first radio station in Tampa Bay to have that board, which is industry standard right now.
Right.
Like they got it in the New York, the big money markets and stuff.
Right.
But WMNF was the first radio station over all the iHeart, Beasley, and Cox Media groups to have that particular board. So upon getting there, I, went under the wings of my boss, DT, he wizard. He stepped in the studio, something going wrong.
Okay.
He know what to do.
Right.
Now I said, okay, I want to learn that.
Right.
And so then I just paid attention. I started copying what he did, and then I started exploring, doing my little Google. I got my doctorate degree off of YouTube University. Not really a degree, but
I'm with you.
I just stayed the course and I just continued, and then a morning position came for morning radio. And I know anybody that knows radio, if you can make it in morning radio, drive time or rush hour, you're doing something. But
pretty much.
But more so morning radio. If you could do morning radio,
that's hard, bro.
That's hard.
Yeah.
And
because of the commitment, for one, because you have to be up so early to be to the station. And I salute those guys, man. I'm a big fan of Sway.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, man, when I hear how early they have to get up to be there, and then even like Orlando on Wow, they have to be there even earlier.
Yep.
Because their show start way before, 8 o'clock or whatever the case may be. So,
well, here's the thing about a show like a Sway. So, like, you take like a show with Sway, they have budgets where they have people that can come in and run their boards, people that can come in and do their sound effects, people that can come in and set up their set. And they have like a dedicated studio where only they use it, so like Breakfast Club. Right. All they have to do is just dress up, show up. They got somebody already giving them things to talk about, somebody that just keeps them on point. You just be the talent.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Right. So
talking about make work easy for yourself.
They say make it easy.
Right.
But with people like myself at WMNF, I don't have a board op. I am the board op. Nobody writes up topics and stories to talk about. I have to get those. And sometimes same thing with
exactly.
So I have to do all that myself, answer the phone calls, give away tickets. The station to tell me these is what we have. It was on me to find a creative way to give away the tickets instead of the cheesy caller number 7. There's that. People will check you. They be calling in. Some people, depending on what tickets you're giving away, they might call you 5 times straight, and then you're like, oh, you're not calling number 5. You just told me I was 4. Now this is 4.5.
Right.
No, you 4.25. Call back. And then It's real deal fun. Like we don't have the same freedoms. Well, we have the same freedoms. I'm using the wrong word. We don't have the same luxuries and teams like they have to help take some of that pressure up off you.
Right.
So
and I can understand that. That's crazy, man. I would love to be in that position, though. I mean, like you said, it is challenging, but that is, a workload taken off yourself because you just got to be in your craft, really.
The thing that makes it even harder for me what I do when you listen to like no shade, no dissing anybody else,
right?
But a lot of the radio stations out there, the big radio stations, I have friends there.
Okay.
However, they play the same 10 to 20 songs all day, every day. With me,
that would drive me crazy.
Yeah. But with me, being where I am with community radio, I can't play the same 10, 20 songs every time. So whatever I play today, I can't play the next time. And there's people that actually sit back and write down what you played.
Really?
And then there's people that sit down and they write what you played. They'll write the date that you played it. And then you also have something called a playlist. So they can go and see the songs that you played. And if you played the same 10 songs this week, next week, people will check you on that.
Now, why is that? Like, why is it that way? Like, why is that rule that way? Do they have a reason, a method behind the madness, or? If
I had to guess, I would say the method behind that madness is the fact of bringing fresh new content, new songs. Instead of playing the same 5 songs, you get a chance to dig in the crates to really see how creative you really are.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying? So that would be my guess. I like it because it challenges me not only as a personality, but it challenges me as a DJ to make sure that I'm bringing new
fresh content,
right? New songs. And sometimes the listeners, I tell them all the time, suggestions are requests, not a demand. Not all requests are good requests.
Right.
So, but yeah,
man. That's something I did not know. I didn't know that, and now, and that's something that I probably would pay a lot more attention to whenever I tune into the station. Like, damn, he said whatever he playing now, he can't play it. Like,
I don't hear radio the same way as other people. Just like I don't hear DJs on radio the same. Like I listen to the DJs. I'm listening to the mixes, the transitions, the songs, the message of what they're saying,
right?
And even the imperfections to an extent. I try not to listen to the negative, but it happens. As opposed to somebody else who doesn't know the technical side of DJing or radio, they just hear songs, people talking, commercials,
right?
Ticket giveaways,
and things like that.
Yeah.
So some people listen to radio way different than when you're actually in the business.
Right.
So I can definitely understand that.
Right.
Let's kind of go back in your upbringing. What was the first record, cassette, CD that you purchased growing up that you could remember? Like that one that your very first one. You probably listened to it over and over again.
Man, you taking me way back. The first record that I purchased, cassette or CD, was AT Aliens by Outkast.
Wow.
AT Aliens by Outkast.
Man.
And I bought that because they were different. And I remember Andre saying the South got something to say, just getting into like the different. Back then we had like Source, Vibe, Double XL,
all that, yeah.
Hip Hop Weekly, that kind of stuff. It was like an evolution from Ebony, Jet Magazine, those magazines. And
I missed that era. Like, yeah. I used to look forward to going to get the new edition. And then especially like some of my boys, they had subscriptions, but I wasn't that fortunate. I wasn't about to pay whatever the subscription was for a whole year. But
right.
I would definitely.
I didn't do that.
Yeah,
I got how I used to get mine because the magazine they'd be like $5 to $7 each time, depending on who's on the cover.
Right.
So what I did was, I would find out become cool with the clerk in 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
So when they see me, they'd be like, "Hey man, I got this for you," and they would give me like. We used to throw house parties back then. So it was kind of a trade-off. Listen, you give me these magazines, you can come to the party and chill and enjoy yourself.
Right.
Don't worry about drinks. Just bring
that's real.
Bring Greg's magazines. Yeah, you
gotta work
give and take.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it worked out for me pretty good. I used to have crates, like DJs had records, crates of records. I had crates of magazines.
Dang.
One with the Outkast cover, the Lil' Kim, the 50 Cent, the Vivica Fox, and the Ja Rule.
That's crazy.
Biggie.
I remember Double XL was huge at the time, right? It was popping. And me and my boy, we had started this business called Goo Market. And we ran an ad in Double XL to promote it. Now, in hindsight, I wish we would have stuck with Go Market because it was like for us. It was like Instagram before Instagram. It was like a platform that you could app that you could download basically and go on, but it catered to the artists, the producers, and everyone that was in the music industry. Well, make a long story short, we ran this ad in this XXL, and the subscription that came out, it had G-Unit on it.
Oh.
It had, they was on the cover. And when I tell you, we went in every store, every Walgreens,
just to see it.
Every 7-Eleven. No, we bought them. We bought every one.
Y'all can't be greedy like that now, man.
Bought say
something for the people, them.
Every XXL on the shelf, we bought it.
Well,
so we could go in the hood and pass them out. Hey, go to page such and such and read this article and check this out. Yeah, we bought. Man, I probably still got some of those magazines back at the crib, man.
You gotta. That's nostalgia. Like you gotta hold on to that kind of toaster. Let's cheers up for it.
Yeah, that's real, man.
Cheers up. Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. It's on it, right?
I know that kind of feeling when you see yourself inside of like publications and you see the fruits of your labor and you see your work coming out.
Right.
Because there's a lot of artists out there that do it and they don't see the traction. It's kind of like a picture that I saw back in the day, not too long ago. It's a picture of a guy digging with a pick, and he's trying to get to that diamond, and he gives up. But if he would have hit it one more time, he would hit the diamond. And it's another dude, he just going ham. So I always tell people, never stop. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do.
Right.
And sometimes that might not be what you're supposed to do, so you pivot and you do something else that you will be great at. Right. Like you have people that started out, producers that start out as DJs. You have some producers that rap better than a lot of rappers. So
facts.
Become a chameleon of sorts too. Like learn to do more than just one thing.
Yeah. Don't box yourself in.
I wanted to just be a DJ. That's all I wanted to do, but I ended up learning to do more than that: production, recording, radio personality, and DJing.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you more valuable.
Yeah.
So now, if anyone want to bring you to the table, guess what? They got to talk right because you're not just a DJ.
Nah, we can't do
just
that.
like you was talking with my producer, about the cameras and, you talking about the software and the technology they use. So when your conversation is different now. It's definitely
even
different
when
now.
Sometimes I say some of the stuff like, damn, did I really say that? Did I really do know that?
Right.
Okay, all right. We here.
Man, that's a great thing, man. Evolve, man, and learn. Be like a sponge and soak everything up. I'm a firm believer in that. Yeah. People say, man, Ro, you a jack of all trades. You know how to do this, you know how to do that. Yeah, because I always was the type where I didn't like asking people to do things for me.
That's a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
It's a gift because you're going to learn it, you're going to get it done. It's a curse because sometimes we have to say,
you have to rely on others.
Hey, raise your hand. Yeah, I need help. You know?
And like I'm the person where if I do ask and you don't do it or you don't do it to as fast as I need it done,
that's a problem.
I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna learn how to do this on my own. I'm gonna figure this shit out. And I'm gonna make it happen.
I learned that growing up as a kid, like what you were saying about learning to do it on your own, because my uncle used to always say, when you take your car to the mechanic, stand out there and see what they're doing.
Yeah, watch.
When you go and you
probably save yourself some money.
You save yourself some money. Yeah.
Okay, I can do this next
time. So you
time.
just charged me $300 for something that only took $50 to fix. And I could have spent $100 and got it all done and kept the other $200 and went and did something else. So even when it comes down to like myself, like flyers, I've downloaded the Photoshops and all those different softwares and stuff, and I'm learning to use them because we have something now that we didn't have when we were a lot younger. We have the internet.
Right.
We have YouTube.
Yeah.
So, and Google. Man, you can learn anything on those.
There's so many softwares that's so much user friendlier than the one you just
Photoshop.
Photoshop. I promise you, I got one I use to do my flyers with. You could go in there and type in what type of template you want. It's gonna give you a list of templates to use and everything.
It's funny you say that because the head of social media at the radio station, he was showing me that. He was like, "Look, I'll show you." And he's like, "What do you want?" And I said, "Oh, give me a alien swag surfing." And he just typed in everything I was saying, and he hit enter, and it popped. I was like, "Now that looked like something I would pay for." He was like, No, you just pay for the subscription.
That's it.
And you type in, because AI, and a lot of people are afraid of AI. Ain't no need to be afraid of it.
Ain't no need to be. You might as well not, because it's everywhere.
Learn to control it.
It's on everyone's phone, and it makes your job. What would have took you 10 steps to do before, it only takes you 1 or 2 steps to do now with AI. So you just got to know how to use it, man. And it's
If you can't beat AI, learn to control AI.
Right. Exactly.
Because, like you say, your phones, smartphones, red lights, traffic lights, that's AI.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, you used to have somebody sit in the booth and they hit a button to switch it, go and stop.
Right.
Now you just sit there and based upon the weight on the road and the timing, it changes. That's it. Same difference.
Yeah, man. That's something else, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Times change, technology change, man. So if you could go back and do anything different, what would you do?
I would have started DJing. But first of all, I started believing in myself a lot earlier, a lot sooner than I did. It was a lot of times that I didn't. It was times that me and Tone had conversations where he would literally tear into me, like him and his wife. Shout out to Winnie. They believed in me in times more than I believed in myself.
And I find that hard to believe because you seem like
so confident.
You seem so confident. I never seen you like doubt yourself. I'm gonna go back to my birthday weekend when we all went to Miami.
Oh Lord, yeah, that was a vibe.
Epic.
That was a good time right there, man.
Epic, man.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those memories I'll never forget. Like we had a blast, and I never forget we went to the Clevelander.
Yep.
And it was packed. It was girls everywhere. It was just like some you'll see on TV.
Yep.
And I'll never forget, our little group, we must have was about 15 deep.
We was swole.
We was out there.
We was out there.
And I never forget, you kind of walked off from the crowd, and I looked up, you was over there next to the DJ, at the DJ booth, and you was talking to the DJ.
DJ Double I.
And you was over there for a minute too, like, I want to say about 20, 30 minutes you was over there. Y'all was chopping it up.
Like I came with him or something.
Right. And then when you finally left and came back over there to the section where we was, tapped me on the shoulder. You was like, Ro, mark my words, I'm going to be back down here for a paid gig. That don't sound like words of a man that ain't confident in himself. So, like, those are the stories and the things that I know you by that, like, damn, I can't believe that there was a point in your career that you didn't have the faith or didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Wasn't as confident.
Yeah. You know
man. It was pretty nice. Even when me and Tom was doing like Ignite the Nights and the elements and stuff, it's nights that I'd be up there and Tone be like, hey, look, shake it off.
Right.
Hey, look, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
snap back, get in. And everybody needs somebody like that.
Yeah.
Everybody need that friend or that person that can kind of like shake you and be like, nah, bro, get back on your pivot.
I more so had a lot of people that would call me out. Like it was nights that I would be DJing and Tone would be there. And if Tone didn't do it and Winnie did, I'd rather Tone do it than Winnie, because Winnie she's an amazing woman. Right. Great person. That's my sister. I love her like a plate of food.
Right.
However, if Winnie, when Winnie, I won't say the things that she would say, because she's not a mean person, but when she seen me half stepping or slacking, she let me know. Right. Same with Tone. If Tone couldn't get to it, she got to it. And then sometimes it be times when you got two people telling you the truth about yourself, whether you want to hear it or not. I never took it as like disrespect or them trying to put me down. I took it as, look, if they believe in you, why don't you believe in you? Or why are you still doing what you do? Exactly. You can't, you could say you don't know all you want, but it's just simple one thing, fear. Yeah. Sometimes we could be our worst critic, Absolutely. And it's sad because as gifted as we are, and I know I'm my worst critic on a lot of things, and I got, it's a few people that check me on things like, you better than this, or you don't realize where you at and what position you hold, and you dumbing yourself down or you playing yourself like you ain't in that position. Even standing in the same circles or hanging and doing the same thing over and over. It's insanity. You're doing the same thing expecting different results or better results. I completely get it, because there's gigs that I had to stop doing. There's people when I look at the people with me when I go do my gigs now, it's not the same people when I started. When I started, I had an ego. Yeah, I had an ego. I thought I was like Jay-Z or Kid Capri. Like I used to come with an entourage. But what I had to learn one day is I went out and DJ'd at a place called the Getaway out off of Gandhi. I heard of it. It's nice. I heard of it. Right on the water. They got a mean soft shell crab. I love soft shell crab. Okay. Got a mean sandwich. And I took my boy there, and the bartender, misplaced my card. They gave my card to somebody else who had called and said they gave me the wrong card. They was coming back, and my boy snapped. And because of how my boy handled that situation, they looked at it like, if we book him again, he brings those kind of people with him.
Oh, man.
I've never been booked back to that place since then. I went back and ate again. I apologized. I had a very known DJ in the city hear about the situation, and I was out hanging out in Ybor, and he saw me, and he always friendly with me. He was like, yo, Spaceship, bring your ass. And I was like, well, hold up.
Right.
He ain't never come at me like that. So I was like, okay, I pipe down, and he said, man, what happened at the getaway? And I he said, no, tell me straight up, because they don't want you to ever come back there again.
That's crazy.
And he said, I know what happened. And he said, because I know you told me the truth, I'll see what I can do, but I can't make no promises.
Right.
They ain't never had me come back there.
That's crazy.
But I can promise you this.
And that ain't even your demeanor.
That's not me, man.
Right,
like
exactly.
you gotta really rattle my cage to get me to show my teeth and growl and stuff.
Right.
Now, I ain't saying I'm a punk or a pushover.
Right.
But they ain't never had me back, man.
That's crazy.
They never had, and it was a vibe that night.
Get away, man. Y'all got to get my boy back out there, man.
It's a different situation.
He on No Chase a Lie Talk podcast. You hearing it from the horse's mouth. It wasn't like that, man. Get my boy back out there.
I got a new card too.
How do you feel about the current state of hip hop, Spaceship? Like with everything going on, it's so much right now that's going on in the industry. You got the Diddy whole ordeal.
Oh God.
You got the you got the beefs with all these different great artists that's going through it with each other.
Right.
How do you feel right now? But I'm gonna tell you how I feel, but I want to hear your point, like how you feel.
So I can give you the good and the bad. It depends on which way you want to start.
Shoot it.
The good is I love the evolution of a lot of the new. I love the evolution of how there's so many more millionaires and how these artists now getting to the bag and they're making so much money. So you take like a KRS-One. KRS-One lyrically can annihilate a lot of these guys of today.
Facts.
However, the bag that was available that to him and during his time is not like bags now when you got artists getting paid damn near $1 million just to do a show.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They getting paid
insane money and if you're a top artist, it's insane money. Even if you're not a top artist, you can be a B-list rapper
and you still eating
well.
Yeah. And I like that. I think that there's not as many pure lyricists out there. There are a lot of people. A lot of people are not where they are because they're talented. They are where they are because they're popular. And I have no beef, no qualms with that. Like my thing, get that bag, get paid, because I'd rather you be getting your money that way than you to be breaking in somebody's house, taking penitentiary chances, or potentially be over at Ray Williams. You might be at Ray Williams messing around, like especially in Florida, because this is right to handle your business. But
that's real.
The one thing that I wish didn't happen as often I'll say is I want to see the day when female artists, like top female rappers, can get together in their primes and make music. So like you had Nicki and then you had Cardi beefing. You see what I'm saying?
In their primes.
In their primes. You know what I'm saying? Like Nicki is a beast. Cardi is a beast in their own ways. However, when they both was at the height of their careers, beefing. So how many bags y'all left on the table with that?
Yeah.
And when we have to also realize as a people that when you beef, it limits where you can and can't go and what you can and can't do. But there's still that person in the back room that's making 10 times what you're making by y'all going at each other's throats like that.
Exactly. And I think that's the reason why I think it's the powers that be that pitch that beef.
Absolutely.
I think if you got these artists standalone in a room,
they'd be cool. They'll talk it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's the camps, it's the people in the end. I think it's other moving parts.
It's the peanut gallery.
Other moving parts.
It's the peanut gallery.
And one of the things that I hate right now in our culture with the music is I hate how a lot of the artists are dying so young.
Yeah.
Rather if it's from, murders, drug overdoses.
Yeah.
We've lost so many artists
recently
to bullshit. Like, these artists are not even getting the chance to really fulfill and live a good life. They got money, they got fame, they got everything that you would want, and then boop, they're gone.
And they blowing their money on the wrong things. Like you get $100,000 and then you're going to buy a chain. And then for me, it's interesting to me why artists seem to think that it's cool or frowned upon if you have security. you got to have somebody to protect the bag.
You smart. You better have security.
Like I can't think of this rapper name off the top of my head. He was in L.A., and he bragging, I got $500,000 in jewelry, and I'm gassing up a Bentley, no security. But he kept looking around like he was looking for somebody. But my thing is, bro, if I got $500,000 in jewelry and I'm driving a Bentley, I'm not by myself. I'm not scared. I just believe in self-preservation.
Right, exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of these artists want to play the tough guy, and you got like what's the man the one that came down and got killed here on his birthday? Flohio. Came down here, he was moving wrong.
You moving wrong, and you got so many ops and different people, bounties on your head. So it's like, what are y'all thinking about? Like, do you not think that for 1 second, if you go live or you share your location,
they own
tell
you.
People
they own you.
Like, I would not do that. I wouldn't do that if I didn't have a bounty and I didn't have enemies out there. I'm just not going to do it because
I don't really put out where I'm going to be. Like, even, not to cut you off, one thing with me with this whole industry thing that kind of shakes me up a little bit is when I have to post where I'm going to be. Not saying I got enemies or anything like that out there. What I mean by that is, like I'm doing an event, I'm DJing. That to me used to give me anxiety with it because I don't know what type of time people be on, but I know what type of time I can get on.
Right.
I'm like
feel the same way.
Yeah,
I'm
like
the same way.
I ain't saying I'm the baddest dude out there or whatever, but at the end of the day, I just want to go home at the end of the day, and I want to do this again and again. Yep. And I think a lot of artists have to be mindful of the energy that they put out there and the message they're putting out there and stuff. Right. Now, the good side of the new hip hop, the state of hip hop, is you have some cats out there holding it down, doing their thing, like Kendrick Lamar. Every project that man done drop is beast mode.
Right, exactly. Everyone.
J. Cole.
Same way.
That man was denied by Jay-Z. Jay-Z was like, nah, you ain't it. And then he kept on and nah, you is, you doing your thing.
Doing your thing,
Even with the female, like Rhapsody, I really love Rhapsody.
She's so dope.
But she doesn't get a fair shake because she ain't half naked.
Right.
She ain't talking about drugging people and robbing people. And
that's what needs to change in our culture. Yeah. Like, I feel like
R&B too.
I feel like in the 90s, you had gangster rap, you had conscious rap, you had just, regular MCing. Right. Like, I feel like now it's either it's everything is the same just about. Like, right. It's either drill music, you talking about, sliding up on somebody, and if you're talking about something that's other than that, people not paying it no attention.
They don't want to hear that.
And there's so much great music out there that I think that it's like somewhere we got lost. I don't know if it's the labels that's behind it that's driving that. And I hear, that kind of rap, it sells, but still, man, it's like it's so many dope artists out there that deserve to have a voice and deserve to have their music, on top 40 or in these big slots where you got this negative content that I feel like is causing genocide in our community.
It definitely is doing that. And like I was told by somebody, I went to a panel one time, it was at A3C in Atlanta, and somebody asked, well, with the emergence of the new hip hop and the new music out being so popular and overshadowing, overpowering, music that has a message, how do we change that? What do we do to stop that? And the person, Killer Mike was on the panel. He said, you take away your biggest power, and that's your attention. Because the dollars follow the attention. So if the dollars is on some old hippity hop hop type stuff, that's where the money gonna go. But if it switches back to conscious and stuff like I even heard Brian Cox, big into like R&B music, singing and writing, songwriting for a lot of big names and big songs. He said, when you listen to R&B today, the reason why a lot of these artists sound the same or it doesn't have that stay power is because when you look at the 80s, when you look at the R&B from the 90s and back, all those artists had some kind of trace to church. Whether they sung in church, they played drums in church, and you listen to these artists, the artists now, they ain't messing with no daggone church. Church is chicken.
R&B artists now really want to be rappers.
And rappers, some want to be singers.
Right.
And ball players want to be rappers, and some rappers want to be ball players.
Right.
So it's
everybody just all fucked up.
A gumbo of stir.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I listen to R&B 9, they talking about the lyrics. I'm like, damn, if they didn't if they ain't have auto-tune and put a little melody behind it,
Yeah.
you would think you listening to a rap song.
Yeah,
Tory
Lanez.
Yeah.
He raps just as good. He raps just as good as some of these rappers.
He do.
Trey Songz, he raps.
Trey Songz, another one. Yo,
I mean, R. Kelly, he can rap too, but he's more extensive. Well, not right now. He's 6x9 right now, but
Dang. Do you feel our culture is better or worse off with social media?
I feel it's worse. Because
and why? Well, like, what's your reason why you say that? I agree. I mean, I totally agree.
Yeah.
But I mean, what if you had to give a reason why? What is one of the reasons why you would say?
When you look at the dynamics of what a family is, back in the day, think about the 90s before social media and the internet came about. You only seen the people that lived in your neighborhood, you went to school with, you went to work with, and you ran into at the store. That's it. Now you see those people, but then you also see the person in Atlanta. You see what's going on in Japan, and it follows the trend. So it gives people some people don't need access more than what they have access to.
That's a definite fact.
You see what I'm saying? So like the marriage rate is going down, the relationship trust levels is through the floor. It's like a house that you bought in the middle of a hood, a crack house.
Yeah.
The roof is bad, the plumbing is bad, the electrical been shot because they took the copper out, and there's no flooring in the inside. It
builds a false sense of reality for a blue collar, guy that gets up, go bust his ass, for $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year, and then he open up his little 5-inch cellular device and he see a rapper or somebody on there with his whole life savings to his ear.
Yep.
Or he see it with that around their neck.
Yep.
Or they driving the car, his dreams, and they got this beautiful woman, and they seeing all these women that don't look nothing like his wife look, and they taking these exotic trips, and then now you got your wife pressuring you saying, hey, I want to go to Bali. I want a tummy tuck, or I want to go to this country. And it's like, shit, a year ago, you didn't even know this place existed.
A year ago, you didn't even see past Miami.
Right. So social media builds a false sense of reality.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it definitely put people in a position to live outside their means.
Yeah.
And they do it just for like they say, for the gram or for whatever. You putting on, you trying to really showcase and live a life that you don't live, and you ain't got it like that. So,
most of America, I want to say roughly about 70 to 83% of America lives check to check.
Yeah,
so
that's a fact.
When you mess around and you go out there stunting and you miss one good check, you a step away from being put out in the streets. And they just passed that new law in Tampa or in Florida that if you're homeless, you go to jail. You can't be homeless no more.
It's against the law now.
It's against the law.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people out here trying to keep up with, no pun, with the Joneses. You're the Joneses that they should try to keep up with.
Appreciate that,
also,
bro.
we were talking about that earlier on so many levels, man.
Yeah, appreciate that, brother.
A lot of people don't look up to the natural version of what a family is, or some people want to be courted, but they don't want to play their role. You see what I'm saying? Like, and then there's a lot of different. Everybody have different opinions. Some people opinions are like buttholes. Everybody got one.
Everybody got one.
You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean they clean ones. Everybody don't clean their butt right. So I think the day that people get back to having uncomfortable conversations and sitting down and having respect and red light, green light talking type stuff, it'll go back the other way. But I don't know if we'll see that in our lifetime. I pray I do. I want to live till I'm 100. But
I know, right? That's the goal. That's ideal.
Yeah.
Spaceship, do you prefer spending at clubs or private events such as house parties?
That depends on if you're talking about the bag. If it's the bag, I want to do a private event all day long, because at private events, their bag, their bag is their bag.
Right.
And then it's kind of tough. But sometimes some events are dope, getting into different venues and meeting different people. Some venues pay, and then some venues don't. Then you also have the situations where if you're a DJ that you're on radio or you have a name in the city, you're traveling, they seeing you moving and making, moving and shaking.
Right.
Then you're going to get your bag. But then it's me personally, if it's about the bag, give me the private gigs and events all day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
You seem like a private gig type DJ because, I mean, that's your zone. You comfortable. When I first met you, you was DJing a private event.
That's where I came from.
Yeah. So, it's like and you got to think club DJs, depending on the age demographic in the club, you got to cater. You got people running up to the DJ booth requesting songs.
They want to hear the same 2 songs.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know, that club it's a little. And then not only that, the money in the club ain't. When I found out what these club promoters pay their DJs,
it ain't nothing.
It's like, what?
It was
it's peanuts, man.
It was a DJ. I won't say his name, and he opened my eyes to it. And he said, Spaceship, how much he said, I'm gonna ask you a question. He said, this how much I'm getting, and he showed me. But I get that because I got credentials you don't. I'm on the radio. How much you getting paid? And I told him, he was like, so how is it you let them pay you this amount, but they're paying somebody for a costume contest more than what you getting paid? All they got to do is show up in the costume. So if they're willing to pay somebody in a costume more than what they're willing to pay you, it shows where the value is, and or maybe you should just get a costume and a bum ass costume and come on out and try to get that money. If they paying you $200 and they giving them $500 for best costume,
right. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes a lot more.
Hey, that's real.
Had to get my business together a little bit more on that part right there.
There you go, man.
And I don't try to gouge people. Not like I'm a very reasonable guy and stuff like that. But my yes is a yes and my no is a no.
There you go.
So
cross them T's, dot them I's, man, and stand on 10 toes about your business. You know, that's real, boy. Cause one thing about it, Tico won't theirs. They don't bother. They don't bother with nobody.
Tico, Geico,
all that,
all of them with the O and
all that.
T-Maybe, Verizon,
man,
all of them. They want theirs.
They want theirs,
and I want to enjoy myself too.
Yeah, exactly. And what people should realize too, DJs is an important part of any function. You can have a nice function, good food, good decoration.
But
let your DJ be whack.
trash.
Let your DJ be whack. People gonna talk about that.
2 most important people at an event. You got the DJ and the bartender.
There you go.
If you disrespect or upset and one of them, it's gonna be, dang, why the bartender pouring us more juice than, they gave me 10 cubes of ice and a splash, literally.
Yep. It ain't even the photographer no more, because people got the cell phones.
Everybody got the cell phone.
Everybody got these nice cameras on their phones.
And then you got the what is the 360 machine?
The 360 machine.
Yeah.
So you right, dog. The DJ, the bartender, them the most important people at any event.
Yeah, I'm not saying photographers are not, because a good photographer is worth a lot. However, a lot of people.
Shout out my boy Malcolm, man. Malcolm do some real dope photos, man.
Miko,
in the city.
Got to shout out Miko.
Yeah, Miko White.
Shout out my boy Knock One.
Yeah, man, them guys do a real good job, man, and they very professional. I actually shot my video. What you saying with Miko White, and he was very professional. He was on the set before we was there.
Yep. Miko been around for a while.
Yeah, Miko was on the set.
Miko been around for a while.
Before we got there to the video set, he had already scoped out everything. He already had he came with his own props to set up, to create certain scenes. And I'm like, damn, dog, I never seen a videographer like most videographers I deal with to shoot like a rap video. They come there with their little camera in the bag and
that's it.
All right, what we doing?
They asking you. They don't have no ideas, no.
Right.
The creativity has ended once and then people got to also, what I also was taught as well, if you're going to do a gig, whether you're a DJ, you're a bartender, you're a photographer, whatever it is, whatever you do, when you go do this gig, make sure that when you're done, you sit down and be like, damn, I'm tired, but I got paid for what I feel I was worth.
Exactly.
They valued me.
Exactly.
Because if you say, well, I usually would charge $1,500, but I'm gonna charge you $250. And then they're gonna want you to perform like that they paying you $1,500 or top dollar.
Right.
So charge your worth and don't take no shorts.
Don't sell yourself short.
Don't sell yourself short. I used to do that a lot. Man, I had plenty of nights like that. And to get home at the end of the night and I'm frustrated, I'm angry, and man, I'm all right. And when I really sit down and chase it to the roots, I undersold myself.
Yeah.
And once you get somebody $150 price, you can never jump over.
Could never go up.
They will not.
Because they're going to think you scum of the earth if you charged me this before. Why so much more now?
Man, Ro was cool. That was my dog. He was not. Now he don't got Hollywood. Okay.
Hey, and you know what the key thing is? What you just said is that you are missing.
What's that?
The one thing you can't get back is your time.
Nope.
It's the same time if you would have charged them $1,500 versus you charged them $250.
Yep.
The same time went into it.
That's true.
You can't get time back, bro. So you got to get paid for your time, man.
I tell people that all the time, man. Like, value yourself. you got to put value in yourself, because if you don't, they ain't gonna play with you. If you tell, oh, okay, if I can go and get, let's say, DJ Jazzy Jeff for $200, I'm still gonna expect him to perform like I paid him whatever it is that he really charged everybody else.
And he must be in my head, because I swear that's one of my questions coming up with DJ Jazzy Jeff, man.
Yeah.
Hey, but yeah, you're right. That is absolutely correct, bro. And people gonna expect that, man. So you might as well get paid like it. What is a little known fact about you that you would like to share with people that they may not know? I already found out one when you was talking about, sometimes you be down on yourself.
Yeah.
But what's another little known fact about you that people may not know?
A little known fact about me is, okay, here go a good one. A little known fact about me, other than, sometimes I don't have the confidence, or it's been those times, I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan.
Really?
I remember when I want to say about 10 years old, living in Central Park, and this for people that's from Tampa, it was called the Ice Palace, not no Amelie Arena.
I remember the Ice Palace.
And as a kid, there was one day I was outside playing throw up tackle, and I seen this blimp floating, and it had a picture with a black background and had a prism on it. And I didn't know what the hell that was. Mm-hmm. And in school, I was going to Anderson Elementary at the time. You either went to Anderson or Shermonte. And I went to Anderson, and we used to have what's called DEAR, drop everything and read, with the librarian. And I went in there and I said, hey, everybody done pick their books. I said, I seen something. And I described to what I saw, and she was like, come here, I'm gonna show you. And she got the album. I said, that one. And it's straight up.
That's their logo, I want to say.
Yeah, it was the album cover.
Right, okay.
And it's rock and roll. It's not hip hop, none of that stuff. And when I listen to it, like, for all my people that, smoke or you drink or you want to relax, that's an album you can put on, and just, if you're into different kind of music, mm-hmm. and it's straight like instrumentation, meditation. They sing on there too, but yeah, that's something that I know.
I'm about to check Pink Floyd out. I never dove into it. I got some rock bands that I got a playlist. Like, I got different playlists, but and I'll share it with you too. Yeah. But this playlist, man, I have some Bon Jovi.
Yep.
I love Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, I love Guns N' Roses.
I like Guns N' Roses, Smashing Pumpkins.
I ain't
Nirvana.
never get into them. I like Nirvana.
Man, Smashing Pumpkins.
I never got into them.
Yeah, them ones, 1979, Champagne Oasis, Champagne Supernova.
I like Fleetwood Mac. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, we can dig in some crates,
we can go in some crates.
Hey, that's real, man. Hey, well, Spaceship, what we gonna do, we gonna take a little intermission.
Okay.
We gonna pay some bills, and then we gonna come right back. So if y'all tune into this interview, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back in just a minute.
Elevate your event with us. Kardashian beauty filter, premium props, and AI backgrounds. One-stop shop for fun with jumbo game packages. Ask about our selfie drop-off package. Excellent service guaranteed. Let's make your event unforgettable. Book now. Elevate your event with us. Kardashian beauty filter, premium props, and AI backgrounds. One-stop shop for fun with jumbo game packages. Ask about our selfie drop-off package. Excellent service guaranteed. Let's make your event unforgettable. Book now.
All right, you're back with No Chaser Live Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Remy Rowe, and we are sitting here with my friend, DJ Spaceship. So, Spaceship, we was kind of in the break talking about some of the artists and a lot of the music that they sampled. Mm-hmm. How do you feel like the legacy of some of these greats with all the allegations that's going on, like with the Diddy's and things like that? Because Diddy catalog is huge.
He has a catalog,
and I tell you right now, I'm a huge fan of a lot of the bad boy artists.
Right.
And I always tell people, you got to separate the two. Diddy as a person, he may not be the best individual.
Right.
He may even be a scumbag.
Right.
We've heard that. His track record in terms of that, it is what it is. But in terms of the art, it's the same with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
R. Kelly was, he had a sickness.
Yeah.
But his art,
man, was a genius.
So some people say, man, fuck that. I ain't never listening to his music again. I ain't how do you feel about that? Like you, especially for you, because you're a DJ, so you still have to play a lot of these records.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that the way that their careers are ending, that it, of course, is going to impact their legacy in terms of the music, but do you feel like it should, or you feel like people should let the art be art?
I think they should let the art be art, because Robert Kelly is different from R. Kelly. And then like Sean Puffy Combs is different than P. Diddy and Love and all these other 20 names he had.
Right.
When you look at, and I think, not to put race into it, but it's mostly with us.
Facts.
You look at Elvis. Elvis went to a whole nother continent and got a chick that was underage and brought her back here and married her.
Right.
And I wasn't born during that time, but they still call Elvis the king of rock and roll. Like they didn't take any stripes away from him. And I think that the cancel culture has to also realize the magnitude of that. So let's just say we cancel everything that's attached to R. Kelly. So we take away his catalog. His catalog, he didn't sing all his songs. He wrote for Michael Jackson,
right,
Celine Dion,
you name it,
and so many other people.
Right.
Even with Michael Jackson, a lot of people, wanted to cancel Michael Jackson for the allegations that came about him. I don't wear no robe. I'm not God. I don't judge. Right. I know for one thing, not the victim blame or anything. There's nowhere in hell that any of my kids wouldn't have been able to go and be with, any of them are no way, shape, fashion, or form, period.
Exactly.
So it leads me to question, was this a money grab and the money dried up, or
you gotta wonder that,
because like we quick to forgive others for things we cancel each other's for.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You go to Red Lobster, they make you wait 5 hours, you brag about it and post about it, but then you go over to Spaceship Barbecue and he doesn't have one thing, you want to blast me negatively and get everybody to jump on that bandwagon.
That's a fact.
Yes, I mean, we got to separate. I could separate the art. I mean,
me too. I have no problem with doing it.
Yeah.
And and I was telling someone the other day, in our community, we're quick to jump on any news without even validating how true it is. The FBI said it. Well, fuck the FBI. I don't trust shit the FBI say.
Yeah.
FBI been lying to us forever.
Yeah.
FBI, and I ain't trying to get into all politics and all that, but FBI is not high on my list of people that I trust everything they say in broadcast.
Right.
So, to each his own, but our community, we jump on stuff without even a validation. And if you look at Hollywood, I feel like for the same thing that they're being punished and thrown under every magnifying glass. They need the whole Hollywood need to be arrested.
Yeah.
Because do you think the parties that Diddy had, he was the only one? These parties been going on way before there was a Bad Boy Records.
I believe that Diddy is the new Epstein. And I say that in the sense of I don't believe that Diddy's the big fish that they want, but he has access to it, because when you think about it, going to a Diddy party was like going to a crunk party back in the day.
Right.
You had to go to a crunk. I didn't get the chance to go to crunk parties. I didn't care for them. But when you talk about a Diddy party, it was like if you never been, you was not part of the in crew.
Right.
The all white parties, the brunches, and the New Year's, and it's not like he just He's a black man, but it wasn't just black people that was at Diddy
It was
parties.
all races, and some of the biggest names in the world.
Some of the biggest powers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And from what I'm understanding is a lot of his behaviors was learned behaviors from those that he learned, from the Clive Davises and the Andre Harrells and all of those guys who he worked with. He saw how those VPs was carrying on and doing things. So accordingly. I guess he said, hey, these guys been doing it for years and got away with
my
it.
turn.
So, my turn.
I don't agree with it. I don't condone it.
I'm definitely not agreeing with it, but hey, it is what it is. I do think that I'm a person that let's let the court settle things out. Let's let facts be facts. Let's not insinuate or be quick to jump to conclusion. Yeah. Because a lot of the things that people are clowning this man about, we don't know how many of them things that they gonna drop the mallet and say not guilty. We didn't find enough evidence to sustain these charges. I do believe there's going to be some charges that.
He gonna catch something.
But everything that they're throwing at him, I don't think that's going to.
That's even like use Donald Trump for example.
Right.
He was found not guilty of 31, 37 charges, felonies. Got off.
Right.
Got off, and people was hype. Oh, this is gonna stick. And I was telling my boss, I was like, you're gonna always be guilty in the public opinion before you actually go through the legal process.
That's a fact.
Nobody cares about the fact that OJ was found not guilty, but in the public opinion, he's still guilty. So when he died, there were people that celebrated his death.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I don't believe in celebrating the death of somebody or picking on the dead, because that person not here to defend themselves, whether they did what they did or they didn't.
Right.
Once
no man should judge another man.
That's it.
They got to deal with one judge when they leave this earth. So
I don't wear no robe. Right. I don't have a gavel. I got turntables and a microphone, and that's what I'm sticking to.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
What's the biggest lie you ever heard about yourself?
The biggest lie, biggest misconception that I've ever heard about myself, the biggest lie, biggest misconception about myself is I'm a ladies' man. And when I say that, I say it in the sense of ladies' man in the sense of people assume because I DJ, like certain professions that you do have the hoe tag or thought tag, and people assume because I DJ.
You got community dick. You
no, that's definitely not the case. As a matter of fact, I'll give you another thing about me that a lot of people don't know unless they're like extremely close to me. And you might have picked up on it a little bit. I'm a very, very shy person.
Yeah.
I'm very shy. So like
reserved.
Not reserved. I'm shy.
Yeah.
So like when I go out and I do my gigs and everything, it's a different person. But when I'm done, I find like I don't hang out in the most popular places. I like to go to places like Cheers where everybody knows your name. You can just chill.
Right, I feel
nobody bothers you. I don't care for the attention if I'm not getting paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Because all attention ain't good attention and all money ain't good money. So
say that.
I'm a very shy person, but that's one of the biggest things. Like I have a lot of friends, male and female, and some of my female friends come and tell me, "Oh, well, these guys don't like you because," I'm like, "Well, why? They think that me and you doing something, but do they know I'm in the background trying to put them in there?" And they be like, "Nah, I don't." Well, tell them that, But it becomes too much trouble. Like one woman is enough. 2, 3, you spinning your wheels because it's only one. I'm one man. Right. I got one bank account that I'm pulling from.
24 hours in a day.
Yeah, like no.
And 8 of them hours we supposed to sleep. So
supposed to.
Supposed to. So when you take sleep into accountability, it's even less than 24. So
yeah,
it definitely is not enough hours to juggle that many women, man.
No. Period.
You mentioned Jazzy Jeff earlier, and it's crazy because I do got some. I got some questions that I always ask my guests. Pick one or the other. If you can't pick, you can always take a sip, a shot, or whatever.
Okay.
DJ Jazzy Jeff or Kid Capri?
Oh. And when I'm judging this based upon my own whatever.
Your own. This is Spaceship. This is your.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take a shot.
All right, that's cool. DJ Premier or DJ Khaled?
But before we move to that. Yeah. I love Jazzy Jeff and Kid Capri for two different things. Like Jazzy Jeff is just a turntablist, the technician.
Right.
Kid Capri can work a crowd microphone. And I've met both of them and had personal conversations with both of them. Yeah, so but I still say both. I can't pick between the two.
Kid Capri can flow too.
Yes,
I heard him spit, man. He nice. So,
he was the first. I want to say he was the first person to have a tour bus.
Yeah, he was with his face on it.
Yeah, he was the first person to have a tour bus before a lot of these rappers.
Right. This was back when when Def Jam was getting all the artists the tour buses and everything. Yeah, I remember.
And now everybody wants private jets, but back then it was about having the bus.
It was about the bus
because it was wild times.
And I was just thinking about it's crazy how times change. Like you don't see labels spending budgets on tour buses no more.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because artists have gotten to the point where they own their own stuff. They have their own buses and own planes or rent their own jets, and they took out that thing called an A&R. The A&R artists and repertoire, where they will help develop artists. Now the labels are looking for the cheapest way possible to make return on investments. So they're looking for artists that are popular, not artists that are talented.
Gotcha.
Because all talented artists they're not entertaining. You see what I'm saying? So that's pretty. Like even when I went to Detroit the beginning of last month and found out so much about Motown that
How did you like Detroit?
I love Detroit so much I was willing to move.
I love Detroit.
I was willing to move there. Everybody was talking about the crime. We got crime here.
Right.
Everybody was talking about the weather. Okay, our weather here, I know it snows and Canada's like right there. But to me, I seen that from what I do and who I am, there was a lot of opportunities, it was more upside than downside to me.
Right.
I can learn to drive in snow all over again. I lived in snow before.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love Detroit. I went up there, man. My bro was playing ball, and we as soon as I hopped off the plane, we went to the strip clubs. He was like, man, Detroit different than Tampa, bro. Leave all that jewelry and flashy shit.
Nah, don't do that.
Car. He was like,
they will see about you.
Yeah, he was like, these boys up here play by a different set of rules, man. And we ain't from around these parts. Even though he was a pro player for the Lions, he was like, I just don't want that attention. Don't need that attention.
Yeah. He ain't lying, because there was a couple spots I went to and I seen cats in back here keeping the scene. I'm like, well, thank God, 1, 2, 3 base on me. And I don't really care for jewelry like that. Like to each his own. People that wear it, cool, but I don't really care for jewelry. I'd rather get me like a gadget or something I can geek out on.
Yeah, man.
Make some money with it type stuff.
I love it. That Detroit was the first city I ever went to where I seen like all black establishment. Like we went to a mall. I think it was called Southfield Mall. And Southfield Mall, man, I may have seen 3 white people in the whole entire mall.
Now I didn't check out any malls when I was there. I would say probably the blackest city I've been to would probably be Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. You got to think, back in the days, Detroit was the first chocolate city. It was Detroit, true. It was D.C., and then now it's Atlanta.
Yep.
But those those are metropolitan cities that have a high minority African American demographic, and it's different there. Like the culture in Detroit, some of the things they do there, it's a lot different than what we do here in Florida. Like, on a Friday night, TGI Fridays might be the spot in Detroit where everybody go hang. Like, and it's like they treat it like a club.
I went to a spot when I was up there called Belle Isle. And
I heard of that.
And so basically it's like you got the Detroit River, you got downtown Detroit right here, and you got Belle Isle in the middle, and then on the other side is Canada. Right. So like you can see both from either direction. And I was told by the person I was up there with, like back in the day, that was the spot. Like, and even as they was telling me that, we was there that night, and it was low key popping. Like people were popping and sipping, and they got the trunks up. I'm like, damn, okay, well, I can get down.
313, man.
Yeah, and went to the little hole in the wall. I can't remember the name of it. The hole in the wall was close to Roseville. And it was nice up there, man. I think it's the 696 highway or 695, something like that. But I had a good time up there.
Yeah.
I did not want to come home.
That's real,
outside of being afraid of airplanes, I still didn't want to come home because I really enjoyed myself. Like I really went up there, came back, and tried to figure a way that I can just go up there in the next week or two.
Gotcha.
Own place, little piece of money, you know what I'm saying? But you got to have a plan.
A lot of love for the D, man.
Yeah, man, Detroit. Shout out to Detroit, man. I had a good time up there.
I think I already know your answer on this, but I'm going to ask you for the people. If you had to go on world tour with either Outkast and Dungeon Family or Wu-Tang.
Outkast and Dungeon Family without question.
I already knew.
I mean, respect to Wu-Tang.
Woo. That's one of my favorite groups. Like,
and every time I say this about Wu-Tang, people get in their feelings. To me, I didn't like Wu-Tang as a group. I thought that it was too many different styles together that clashed. Dungeon Family was a vibe. Like, everybody fits when it comes to Dungeon Family, in my humble opinion. Wu-Tang, like I said, all of them are talented, but it's gonna be Dungeon Family and Outkast. And it's not just because I'm from the South, but it's because I can relate more, and they fit more.
And then you know them personally.
And then I know them personally. So
right.
The one person I haven't met was Andre.
That's real.
I haven't met Andre yet, but all the other ones check the boxes.
There you go.
Check the boxes.
There you go, man. That's real. What was your best era of hip hop?
90s.
I knew you would say that, and that's mine too. I don't think it's
90s.
nothing like 90s hip hop. That was the best era, man.
If I had to say music, period, for just me, then I would say that the 90s was, the R&B was at its best, the rock and roll, the jazz, the funk, hip hop, reggae,
all that, everything.
All that was even gospel.
Right.
The 90s was, for me it was, and then parents, they'll probably go back and say the 80s and the 70s, whatever, but
right.
For me the 90s is what did it for me.
Gotcha. Could you see yourself being with somebody that didn't like hip hop?
Absolutely.
You could?
Yeah, I could. That just guarantees it.
You like different genres of music though, so I could see that. Yeah.
But this is the okay, so here's the madness with it, right? So let's say I'm dating a young lady and she didn't like hip hop and I need my me time, I just turn on some hip hop. And she can hip hop away from me, you know what I'm saying?
That's smart.
Yeah.
Hey, that's smart.
Yeah, you ain't gotta like it, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be into things that I'm not,
Right. That's smart. I could dig it. Shit. I guess we'll open up the phone lines for those that still listening. I see you got your live open too. For those that still listening, want to call in, y'all could give us a call, man, and ask DJ Spaceship some questions. The number's 813-501-7266. I'll repeat that again. It's 813-501-7266. Y'all go ahead and hit up them phone lines, man. Call in, show my boy some love, ask him some questions, man. It's been a real dope interview. I'm enjoying every minute of it, but I ain't going to be selfish. I'm going to share the time and let y'all call in and get some questions off.
Yeah, man, I'm enjoying myself. It feels to me like a conversation more than an interview.
I told you it would be that. You know, and I guess the fact that we know each other and we got history makes it that way because, of course I got certain questions I got to ask,
right.
For the sake of the podcast. But, it just, two brothers sitting here just having dialogue,
Right. I want to pick up on one of your episodes you had, and I was so, I'm going to be honest and say it. I was jealous that I couldn't be there for that particular episode, and that was the DJ's episode.
You were supposed to be here.
I was supposed to be here, but I was booked that night, and then it was you had some legends in here. You had Pun, Eminem, Doc D.
Yeah,
you had Doc D in here,
and
man.
we're gonna do Salute the DJ Part 2. I think we got a call on the line. Yeah.
Take my brim off and see what we got.
Yes, sir. Caller, thank you for calling in the No Chaser Live Talk podcast. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Pusha Preem calling from Tampa.
Pusha Preem,
what's going on, man?
What's going on, my boy?
Cooling. I had a question for DJ Spaceship.
Hey, go ahead, fire away.
He's going to shake me in my boots.
Okay. It's a two-part question. Well, where did the name Spaceship came from? And then have you ever been to Mosey?
Have I been to Mosey?
I mean, you Spaceship, right?
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
So the name DJ Spaceship, as I've said, a lot of people know I'm a huge Outkast fan. So my first DJ name was DJ Lucius Left Foot 3000.
Oh, wow.
And the reason was that I was trying to pay homage to Andre because, Andre 3000 and Lucius Left Foot is Big Boy.
Right.
And I went to a wedding and a friend of mine's and a friend of the groom was like, nah, there's too much to say. And I had long hair at the time. I had it pressed and everything, had my suspenders. And he said, you remind me of one of them Outkast dudes. And he said, I'm going to call you Spaceship. And so, that's how I came up with the name.
That's how you got the name.
That's how I got the name Spaceship.
That's a great question.
Yeah. And matter of fact, my man's name is Ty. Yeah, and I see him from time to time, but his name is Ty. He gave me the name DJ Spaceship.
That's what's
up. He took away
Salute.
Lucius Left Foot 3000 and condensed it to DJ Spaceship.
And it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it works. It fits on business cards.
Yeah,
it definitely works.
That's what's up. Preem, man, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Just enjoying the conversation, man. I've got to look up to men, like real men, and the conversations that you guys are having is just so dope because these are the water cooler conversations that we have at work, and then when you clock out, it's all about the life that's out there right now. So it was definitely refreshing and I've been in the whole time. So I just keep it up for real.
Hey, that's real, man, and I appreciate you for tuning in to the show. We got to get you on here, man. I'm gonna reach out to you, man, and we'll go ahead and get that lined up because I definitely need to get you in front of the cameras, bro.
No doubt. Just let me know.
Okay, definitely, man. 10-4.
Yes, sir. Y'all be safe.
All right, you
As
too,
well.
bro.
Yeah, shout out to Preem, man.
Yeah, man.
Real dope brother right there.
Yeah, man. Preem is he's a true definition of just a go-getter and a grinder. I can remember, meeting him early on and seeing his plight and his journey. Mm-hmm. And, he's a real example of what hard work can get you. And it's not over. I mean, he still got a lot to chip at and get. But when you look at from where he came from and where he's at right now, man, he is like, he's doing it real big, man. So big salute to my boy.
Yeah, he even had I've been a part of some events that Preem is at. See, they call him Pusher Preem. I call him Billboard Preem. That man charting on the billboards.
Billboard P. There you go.
And the thing I like about Preem is he gives people opportunities. Okay, you DJ. Okay, you do this, you that, you this, you that. He puts people in position and gives them opportunity to do different things. Now, he's not just going to go out there and pick somebody out the back of the yard or the barn. It's got to work. It's got to fit what he's got going on.
Yep.
But every time I've been to any event he's done, shout out to Hooch and Hive, because they shouldn't change the name from Hooch and Hive to just Billboard Preems, or just call it Preems.
Right.
And every time I go there, man, like the food is on point.
The food is always good.
The bartender's on point. So I can't do nothing but nothing but love with that when it comes to Preem, man. Real good brother, man.
Definitely is. I remember, when we was doing Love, Lust, Sex, Music, and we brought him on, and just to see, I be impressed with his team. Like,
he definitely got a team. The
team and the people around him that make that whole machine move.
Yeah.
And as an artist, that's the one thing I wish I had, like a team. Like, everything I do is just me and a few other people that's, behind me.
Right.
But when you see he got moving parts and it's like, wow.
It's with Preem, I won't say he has an entourage. He, like you say, he has a team. Like, everybody that's around him does something.
Right.
Exactly. It's something that they do that keeps the machine going.
Right. Exactly. And you need that to be successful. You need that.
You got to.
Exactly. So shout out to that whole movement. There was a question that I got text. I'm gonna ask you. How has the nightlife changed in Tampa compared to other cities? Whether if it's good or bad, have you took notice on like the changes here?
The changes here that I've noticed is that a lot of people are doing the same thing. It's a lot of copycat going on.
Repeating.
A lot of repeat. So I see you come out and you do, an open mic, and instead of me being like, okay, well, Roll My Brother, that's my people, that's family. He already got an open mic. Instead of splitting the crowd, let's see if I can add to let's see if I can sit down with Roll and what can I add to what he already doing. Right. A lot of people want to split the crowds, and then you have people trying to choose between, do I go to Rolls, do I go over to Space? And then when they go and they actually split time, they realize they doing the same ish. The same thing. Why was, and then sometimes people have the guts to say, Ro, you ever thought about partnering up with Greg or with Space? You ever thought about partnering up? And it's always everybody. The thing I learned by being in media is the person in the front of the camera is not the one with the most power, nor is it the person with the biggest bag. If the bag is your goal, being in front of the camera or being in the person on the flyers all the time, right? That ain't where the bag at.
It definitely is not.
You see what I'm saying? Because most DJs, they not on flyers all the time. You might have their name in a little corner or might not be mentioned, and that might be the person that's the draw.
Right.
So
and the person who they got is the host that's pictures blowed up all big on the flyer. He is just the person that they probably paying the least to help get his fan base in. You're popular, so we're gonna pay you for your popularity to bring certain crowd in. But
that's why I say most people that they're going after now is not because they're talented, it's because they're popular.
Yeah. I see in our city. I see a lot of karaoke's. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of open mics. I see a lot of brunches. Everybody want to do the daytime events with hookahs and DJs, and it's like, just try to create something a little different. You know, when the paint and sip came out, everyone went wild with that. You got painting in the trap and painting, and it's like, and then there's so many people that do it till they run it in the ground, and it makes you like, damn, not another one.
If you're gonna do the same thing, and like I tell people, and I even tell my own family, you're gonna do something that's already been done. Why should I go to you as opposed to a place that's been doing it? Like, what are you gonna do different to keep your crowd?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Makes sense.
You got so many DJs out there. They all have the same equipment for the most part, and they're all playing the same songs. Why should I come and listen to you DJ tonight as opposed to going over and listen to this person DJ?
Right.
You know, it's like, what makes you any different? You both play music, and that's where people tend to lose. They tend to lose visibility. They lose the audience. They lose, you know, staying power, because if, like, shout out to DJ Shizm. When I was at Green Gators out there with Sadi, Shizm said to me, say, look, my job is to get up here and play all those songs that you hear on the radio. So why are you going to get up here right behind me and play those same songs that I just played that everybody heard? I said, well, because some of the people might have just got here and didn't hear those songs. He was like, okay, but most of these people did. So you got to realize that if on radio they're playing the same 20 songs, there is another 200 songs that they don't play on radio no more. They will out jam those songs that's on radio today. Stick to that and watch what your crowd do. And I did that, and what I would learn is, like, me and my brother DJ Galaxy, when 95.7 would finish DJing, they would pack up and just leave. But Shizm would pack up and he would stand on the side of the stage.
Just to observe.
To observe.
Yeah. I
can always tell when I was messing up or we were messing up, because if Shizm stood on the side of the stage and we look up and 2 minutes later he gone, we lost it. We lost him. Mm-hmm. And then when I look up, it's 30 minutes, an hour and a half, and he's still right there, we did exactly what he's talking about instead of just going to the normal, you know.
Right.
So
that's that's real, man. Like, what the game he dropped on you, if he didn't care, he didn't have to do that.
Period.
That's how stand up Shizm is.
Yeah.
You know, he want to see you win. He don't want to see you fail.
Right.
You know, and you got to think it's good for y'all both doing business at the same spot.
We in the same arena.
If everybody leaving when I pack up, then how is that benefiting the club?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he want to see you guys win, and that's a big salute to that, man. Because like you say, some people had that I'm gonna just mind my business mentality.
Yeah, and I just seen him out in New Orleans doing this thing, holding it down.
Yeah, I seen that.
That's my favorite city in the whole United States.
Yeah,
food.
You know, I never been to New Orleans, man.
What?
Never been. I actually got a trip booked early 2025. I'm going out there
to New Orleans.
Yeah, but it'll be my first time going, man.
Word of advice: the food is amazing.
Yeah,
the culture is a vibe. If you stay in the French Quarter, try to stay somewhere where it's not as far from Bourbon Street as you can. If you want to get like proper sleep,
right.
It's a little stank down there in French Quarter.
I heard that,
but after a drink or two, you'll be all right. You'll be to seem normal to you. You'll be all right. Yeah, you'll be all right.
I never forget back when I was doing music with Jolly Boy, and
shout out to Jolly Boy.
One of the artists that was on the label with me is an artist named Dream from Harlem. He don't rap anymore, but at the time, you know, we was artists on the label, and Dream had this fire-ass song at the time, and Jolly sent them to New Orleans to perform Super Bowl at the House of Blues. I don't know how he got him booked. I have no idea, but he got booked. And Dream, you know, Dream, my dog. Right. I actually introduced Dream to Jolly, and Dream hit me up. He was like, "Ro, what's up?" At the time, I ain't go by the name Remy. He was like, "Ro, what's up?" He was like, "Man, you want to go out there with me, man? Come out there with me. We go out there, we can rip that shit, man. You know my song, you got be my hype man, whatever. What now? Let's go out there and get this money, man."
Right.
But I didn't go. I had some other shit going on, and for whatever reason, I ain't go.
Man, listen.
He went out there solo dolo and went out there and rocked that shit.
Listen,
man.
Everybody talk about Atlanta. They talk about New Orleans.
Yeah,
New Orleans it's just a whole different, like the culture, the food. Then the history, like the history of that city, like even going through the city and seeing like where the levees broke and Katrina the water and the second line and the brass bands, like they have kids out there like 8 years old hustling. Like they out there playing on the buckets, or they playing the French horn,
right,
in a brass band, getting it.
Yeah, that's what's up,
so
man.
you gotta,
definitely gotta go out there.
Do your self service. And it's a straight flight. Southwest Airlines, hour and a half. A puddle jump.
There you go. Yep, no diggity. Call us. Make sure you call in, man. We got Spaceship here having a great conversation. Number's 813-561-7022. Let's get it in, man. Let's call in, ask some questions. Let's see here. So what are some things that you got coming up, like in the future? Like, what can the people expect from Spaceship?
So I was DJing at this one spot in Soho. It was a cigar lounge, and that spot.
I like that spot.
You like it?
Yeah, I like that spot.
That came to an end.
Every time I went to go see
never
you
there.
speak, you never was there.
I
would call you. I'd be like, Spaceship, I'm here. I ain't gonna be there tonight.
Nah, not tonight, man. It was either I was taking a break or but I was there. It was coming up on 4 years.
Damn,
it was coming up on 4 years, and most DJs don't stay in places longer than 6 months.
That's real.
And it was coming up on 4 years, and that ended. And now I have a new situation that's coming up, which is, I'm going to say it here first. I was about to say December the 19th. Well, I'm thinking December.
Bro, we breaking new things on No Chaser. That's what's
October 19th, I will be at Cigars International up in, what's that, Wesley Chapel Outlet?
The one in Wesley.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be right there. So I'll be taking the Saturdays. I'll be doing the Saturdays, and then a couple of Fridays here and there.
I'm gonna definitely go out there and check you out.
Yeah,
I like the way they piggybacking off the one in Brandon, because the one in Brandon, they have a DJ that like 3-4 nights out the week, which is good because and they see what it does for business.
Yep.
People like music.
Yeah,
you get music in, you get liquor in, you smoking cigars, you're gonna spend more money.
Yeah.
That one in Wesley Chapel, once you start spending there, I guarantee you their revenue go up.
And then the thing about out there too, like there's a lot of people that live out that way, that they tired of driving into Tampa.
Facts.
You get in town, get your couple of drinks in you or whatever.
Now you got to make that commute back.
Now you got to make it back. Whether it's a deer or the police, you got to dodge out. You got to do both of them. So,
and boy, it do be deer on the side. Because every time I come back from Zephyr Hills and I'm coming down at night, man, I see 4 or 5 deers just hanging out, camped out on the side of the road, and you could see them. Their eyes just be glowing in the dark. I'm like, please don't jump out in front of this motherfucking truck.
Hey, it's worse than that when you up in, like, when I used to live up in Carolina.
Yeah,
them deers be about the size of the car. So,
they huge up there.
Yeah,
man.
Kansas too. They real big.
A deer could kill you, man. They jump out, boy. When they get up to that size. Yeah, man. You'll really fuck some shit up, boy.
Yeah, they'll take you down.
Yeah, man. What artists are you really like into right now? Like if I got in the car with you right now, what's something that you really like listening to or rocking out? Is there a new artist in particular that you jamming with? Right, it don't matter what genre.
New artists right now, I will have to say it's a combination of them. Like I say, Rhapsody. I love Rhapsody. I can't even front. I like Kodak.
Okay.
I like Kodak Black.
Yeah.
I like Victoria Monet.
Okay.
I like Victoria Monet. This next artist, she's not new, but she's been trying to do a thing. I like Marsha Ambrosius. I like Jasmine Sullivan new stuff, the new vibe that she on too.
Yeah, I like jazz.
So those are some of the artists that I can think of off the top of my head. That real deal.
Okay.
Got
you. That's what's up. I don't know. Like for me, I listen to so much music, man. If I hear something dope, I listen to a lot of satellite radio. So satellite radio,
from different places,
right? So I hear a lot of stuff fresh off the press. It can be a song that come out today,
right,
and they playing it on satellite versus like top 40. It got to go through the proper channels.
Got to go through the channels. Got to stand the test of time on this,
right?
Yeah.
So when I hear stuff, I just Shazam it, add it to my different playlists of phone. And then I'll just go back and I'll pull up the artist, and then I'll see what other music they have besides the one that, the song I heard. And that's how I get turned on to a lot of music. So I hear so much music, man. It's like every coast, like West Coast, East Coast, Midwest. I find all kind of artists, man. So, you know, I just put my playlist in, hit shuffle, and just let it ride. Let it ride, man. Yep. Let's see here. Man, my brother, I think that's that wrap up all my questions I really got for you tonight, man. I really enjoyed you. Had the content, the questions lined up. You nailed them. And shit, we really rocked this thing out tonight, man.
I'm a conversationalist, man. I enjoyed being here. Like I said, I mean, it wasn't an interview for me. It was a conversation. And
right.
Like I said, I wish I could have been here when you had Eminem, Pun, and
DJ Part 2. I haven't got a date on it yet, but we're gonna do it, and I want to do it. I would like to bring you back. Also get Sandman. There's a few other DJs. DJ Red. You know, to bring on the kind of same concept as before, but just a different mixture of DJs to bring on the panel. I think
I'm here for it. Let me know. I'll make that happen.
Yeah, man.
I missed that first one. I was like, dang, man. I went back and watched and listened to it. I was like, yeah, that was definitely a vibe right there.
Right, yeah, man, definitely. I would love to get Shizm on here, but Shizm is the busiest man.
He working.
And especially like during these hours. So, you know, like it's hard to catch him, man. But, you know, things align. Everything happen in time, and so it'll happen when it happens, man. But nevertheless, I enjoyed tonight, man.
Yes.
I'm gonna cheers you up one more time, brother. Salute. And I got something for you to got you some merch. I'm gonna get you, man, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up.
I'm gonna wear that thing ASAP, just to let you know.
Yeah, man. Oh, I do wanna before I get out of here, I do want to give a big shout out to Sherry Green. This my homegirl, man. She did this cup for me. She know I'm a diehard Bucks fan.
Oh, why she had to do that?
But boy,
why she had to do that?
She got Remy Roll on the cup. She got my picture on here.
The cup clean. Minus if she could just get rid of that part and put a falcon on there, put a dirty bird on there.
Listen, man, y'all hit up Sherry Green on Facebook. Man, she doing these cups and she doing her thing, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, man.
She got to put a dirty bird on. She could put a bulldog on it.
I'm looking forward to kicking them dirty birds' ass tomorrow.
This is why we can't have nice things right here.
We got them Falcons in Atlanta. You know, we going up there, both teams playing well. So, you know, it is what it is. May the best team win.
I agree.
My boy Spaceship, he's a diehard Falcon. I'm a diehard Buck.
All day long.
You know, we talk shit every year. It is what it is, man. May the best team win.
Yes, sir.
On that note, we going to get out. Love. Till the next time.